Hello, hello. Good afternoon, and welcome. I wanted to go on here right now to, before I put the, what's it called? Um, Before I put the slides up, I need to showcase this dog behind me. Oh my goodness, he is just in dream world and not caring about anything I'm doing. Let's hope it stays that way because we don't want him to, uh, we don't need him to be a, what's it called? Um, Anywho. All right, so let me go ahead. I'm gonna get my slides going up. All right, welcome. I hope you can hear me. Uh, So please tell me, can you hear me? Oh, he's moving. Oh, he didn't get up yet. Um, All right, welcome. And can I just get a sound check? Can you hear me? Can someone just post in the comments to let me know if you can hear me? Thank you. Thank you, Judy. All right, so let's go to our question of the day. If you had an extra hour every day, what would you do? If you had an extra hour every day, what would you do? If you had an extra hour every day, market. Oh, that woke Gracie up. He's up now. Oh no, he just moved. Now you can't see his face. Um, it was just funny. I looked behind me, and just saw him completely lounging out. Um, so why is that extra hour in the day important? Because our time is money. And thank you for joining me and giving your time. I very much appreciate it. And just want to make sure this goes in where it's supposed to be. Da, 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 da. All right. Anywho, all right, here we are. So time is our money. We can make more money, but we do not get more time. So we have to prioritize our time. And you have to think of every time we say yes to a request, we're saying no to anything else we might accomplish with that time. So you have to realize that if you're using your time somewhere, it is something that should be well spent. So, why is it so hard to say no sometimes if it's not the right kind of lead or the right kind of quote? We don't want to be seen as rude or unhelpful. That's where actually networking comes in really handy because say you get a request for a river cruise, but you don't book river cruises, but you know another agent who does. You can be helpful and say, I don't do this, but here's the name of somebody I know who could help you. Okay. And you don't want to disappoint them and you value the relationship with the person asking. So you don't want to always be saying no to everybody, but this is why it's hard. Now, I'm going to caveat all of this with so the whole premise is not everybody is your client and not every trip is yours to book. However, if you are just getting started, you'll need to experiment and to see what works for you as far as specialties or your ideal client because sometimes you can be um, thinking you're going to specialize in one thing, but realize all your people want to book something else. So that's what you have to go and specialize in because that's where your market is. Okay, so right now it is an experiment if you're new. Now, if you are established, that's where you can start saying no. Okay. But I will also say if you are new and someone is asking you something that's not in your wheelhouse, you can say no. You are allowed to say no. So if you are new, you'll say yes more, but it's going to be in a focused way so that you can learn with each experience. You need to be compensated. So don't book something where you have little to no commission or service fees. You don't want to set a precedent. So if something someone's asking you to do isn't going to net you much of a commission or much of a profit or not much of a planning fee, you have to weigh your time and is it worth it for the experience? But then once you get to a point in your career where you realize that time is money and you start saying yes to what builds your business. And what happens is no is the strategy that helps you grow. It's amazing. It's amazing how this works, but it helps you become more successful because if you are saying no to what you're not good at or what you don't book much of, it actually helps you with your time. Okay. So, for example, if someone asked me for an FIT to Brazil, could I book it? Do I have the ability to book it? I do. However, it's going to take me 40 working hours to research, quote, talk to suppliers, time away from what brings the majority of my own business. Okay. So I'm working all on this one quote, but I could have booked three other packages to somewhere else that I know. Okay. So that's what you have to think of. How much are you able to handle? And what can you do a lot of? Now, if you're specializing in FIT travel and you're really good at pulling those itineraries together, then do it because there are people who want that service. Okay. And if that's where your niche is, that's where your niche is. But if your niche is not in that kind of business, then it's okay to say no. And let me show you what happened when I started to say no. So year 2, I had 60 bookings. Okay, this is just number of bookings. I didn't do like sales numbers. I just wanted to look at number of bookings. And so year 2, I was booking anything anybody requested of me, 60 bookings. I realized that I was at my limit of what I could do. So in year 3, I only did my specialties. I said, okay, I'm going to do Disney, Universal, and all inclusive resorts. That's it. My business doubled because I was using my time in a way that allowed me to really do more of those things. So even though that FIT to Brazil might have got me a lot of money, maybe I wouldn't have had the 5 easy bookings I could do in less that time. So it becomes a balancing act between your time and that one booking. So that's why you have to, at some point, whittle down to what you are really good at, because then this is what happens. So that was the big jump. As you can tell, it literally doubled. Then the next year it went up, but didn't double. And then of course it went up again. So it was still a gradual staircase, but the biggest jump was right here because I decided to specialize. So why does this matter? Well, we want to talk about why I'm this fall we're going to talk more about sales and getting more of those leads to convert. So, one of the things I'm going to do is a new free training called Why Don't They Book With You? I every time I say it, I think of that book He's Not That Into You or that movie or whatever it was, and I'm like for some reason in my head that's where I go, but it's real. I mean, why they don't book with you, what mistakes that we make with new leads, and how to fix them. So, this is a training I'm doing next week, next Tuesday and Wednesday, Tuesday at 1 o'clock, Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Guys, I'm doing it evening. You have to understand something about me. I turn into a pumpkin usually after 5 o'clock. But I know a lot of people like to come to these trainings, and I know sometimes schedules don't match up. Will there be a replay? There will. However, it's best to come live because I have super extra things I'm going to give to those of you who were live. You're going to get a free, and you actually will learn more about that on the registration page. the bonus for showing up live. It's just a bonus. You still get the whole training. Um, but if you get there live, you get an extra bonus. And this is free. Price is free. So we're going to talk about how to make sure everyone knows what you book. Okay. Because we talked about how much it stings when you see somebody in a destination that you book, then your friends. Okay. We're going to talk about how that, we'll talk about how that stings, but also how you can make sure people know what you do. Secret to creating a quote that converts to a sale. Okay. And then how to prevent ghosts getting ghosted after issuing a quote. Okay. So, who is this for? This is for any agent who sees their friends on their Facebook feed on trips they didn't book with them. Okay. Um, it stings. It stings. And you can either do the QR code or you can go to the link. I'll even put the link in the comments. This is a longer link, but it's what I have available to me. I don't have the bit.ly available too much, but here you can go to, or you can scan this QR code, okay, or the bit.ly, why they book, and then you feel like you can't match, you can't price match, you can't do this, you can't do that. We compete against these big bucks companies. How to do that, how to position yourself, because you can. Now, will you always win that sale? No, you will not. But let's talk about how you can at least position yourself. And they keep ghosting me. Now, listen, I'm going to tell you, one of my favorite attractions in Walt Disney World is the Haunted Mansion. I love ghosts. Okay. But I don't like when people ghost me after issuing them a quote. Okay. So I'm going to teach you some ways that you can prevent this exact scenario, because we love ghosts on Haunted Mansion. We do not love ghosts after a quote request. And all of this for free. So go ahead and either scan the QR code or go to the website. I will see you next week. All right. And if you can't make either of the times, still sign up for one of the times so that I send you the replay. Okay. Make sure you sign up for one of the times so that I can send you the replay. All right. Have a great day. Bye bye.